Hello everyone. Yes, I have returned and welcome to another video of the GAT Math. Today I'll be covering some of my new worksheets since the questions in the book seems to be outdated and a lot of people have complained, and me personally, I've taken the exam recently and the questions are kind of old now. So I'll be covering those questions. These are my own worksheets. I've worked tirelessly to provide them. I currently sell them. If you'd like to purchase one, just send me an email. And I've composed these worksheets by getting past paper questions and just summarizing them in a page of 7 questions. This is one of the examples. And if you'd like to have some of those worksheets, I've made a lot. And if you'd like to have some of them, just send me an email. And without further ado, let's get right into these questions. Alright, so for question number 1, we are over here. 1 to the power of 100 plus 100 to the power of 0. This is a very simple, straightforward question. Any 1 to the power of any number is always going to be 1. And any number, so x to the power of 0, will always be 1. So this is 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2. For the second question, we've got a number is multiplied by 5, and the result was 810. What is that number? So what I like to do here in those types of questions, we've got 15 and 810, which is obviously we just need to divide 15 and 810. And we can easily get the answer. However, 15 divided by 110 might be a little bit complicated. So what I like to do is find a common factor. And here a common factor between them is 5. How do I know that? Because any number, this is a very important point, any number that ends with 5 and any number that ends with 0 is divisible by 5. Thus, 5 divided by 15, or 15 divided by 5, that will be 3. And 810 divided by 5, let's do that real quick. We've got 1, 5, subtract 3, bring down the 1. That will be 6. There we go. 162. And of course, we don't have any more remainders. And so we can divide 13 by 162 way more easily. Alright, so how many 3's go into 16? We've got 5. 15 minus 1, bring down the 2, and 3 by 4 is 12. And there you have it. This is 54, and the answer here is also 54. For question number 3, we've got a sequence question. Sequence questions, whenever you see any sequence question, first of all, try to determine if it's geometric. Geometric meaning, is it multiplied or divided between each number? So is there a multiplication or a division process going between each number, or is it arithmetic? And arithmetic means addition or subtraction. Sometimes it's a mix of both and whatnot, but for most part it's actually quite simple. So in this case, we have here plus 2, and then it's 9, and this 27 and 8. So it's not arithmetic. And how do I already know that? It's because if you notice, these are all factors of 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, 27 divided by 9 is 3, 81 divided by 27, and such and such. So what you're simply going to do here is multiply that last number to find the next number by 3. Because you found that the common difference between each of those numbers is multiplied by 3. So 81 multiplied by 3, 3 by 1, that is 3, 3 by 8, that is 24. And so your answer is A, 243. For question number 4, we've got the root of 60 plus 61. Simple as it comes. 60 plus 61 is 121. Just add them together. And the root of 121 is 11. That is all there is to it. These are some of the easy free questions that you sometimes, rarely, but sometimes you get, and you're just supposed to have things off the top of your head. What would help you in answering these questions very quickly so that you gain some time is you remember some roots, some famous roots like this one. Alright, so now for question number 5. X minus y is equals to 5. Xy is equals to 15. So find x squared plus y squared. Now, for these types of questions, I always like to look for the x minus y stuff because there is a very nice rule here that you can always utilize. You gotta square this left side and then square the right side. And the rule is that x minus y squared, so the left side can be given as x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. So right now we've got 5 squared, it's somewhere in here, right? And since here we have a minus, by the way, this was a mistake of mine, since we have a subtraction, we're going to subtract by 2xy. And so we can use the rest of the equation for it. So we've got xy is equals to 15. So we can remove this and make it 30. And so if we're gonna just take this apart here, so now this is what we're looking for, and we've got 5 squared, which is 25. Plus 30. This should also give us x squared plus y squared. Now I changed this sign, by the way, because if you guys would look here, plus and minus, that means it's a positive. So if we're going to remove all of this mess, what we're going to end up with is 25 plus 30 is equals to, and we can even ignore this whole first part of the section, x squared plus y squared. And if this is 55, that means that this is also 55, and so we'll end up with A. Now for the question number 6, we've got 4 over 5 is equals to x over 6, and we just need to find x. Pretty simple. These questions always follow the multiply rule. Some cases, maybe I shouldn't say always, some cases you can't use the cross multiplication, or it will be more complicated, so you need to use something else. But in this case, it's really simple, so we can just use the cross multiplication. So 5x is equals to, that's 2 equals, is equals to 4 by 6, which is 24. Divide both sides by 5. Now 24 divided by 5, there is no actual I guess integer number, so instead what we're gonna do is 24 over 5 is really close. It's approximately 25 over 5, and I maybe wouldn't need to do that if, for example, I can name at the top of my head 24 over 5, oh, that's whatever it is. But since I don't know that at the top of my head, so I'm gonna just take by the thing. So 25 over 5, that is 5, right? So whatever answer we're gonna get, we're gonna take the closest number to 5. So over here we've got 3, 6, 8, and we've got 4.8. That is as close as you can get to 5, and that's your answer by approximation. We can also just find 4.8. Right. So for the final question of today, question number 7. Now remember, you guys, I'll be trying my best to post on a weekly basis, if not more. However, if you have an exam soon or you are really pressured and you need some of that practice, just send me an email. I'll try to send you as many worksheets as I can. And these worksheets have been really helpful to me personally, and I believe to some students. A few of you have already purchased them before I announced them. But yeah, just send me an email and I will be ready for you, inshallah. All right, so without further ado, let's get into this question. 1 plus 1 over 1 over x minus 2 is equals to 5 over 3. Find x. We need to know what this x is. All right, now the goal of this question is solely to make you scared, to make you feel like it's too much, and then you just look for the other question. However, it shouldn't scare you. Why is that? Because we just need to solve for x, and this should be really simple. How so? So first of all, we have an outside thing. What do I mean by that? So look how this is a good solid formation, and then we have an extension over here. Look at these things like that. Try to visualize it whenever you see it. So any extension, try to get rid of it as soon as you can. And so we're going to get rid of it by taking it to the other side, right? And it's going to become a subtraction. And how do we subtract 5 over 3 with 1? Well, remember that any number left unattended, so for example 1, has 1 right under it. So now all we need to do is make them both have the same denominator. So we're going to multiply up and down by 3. What we're going to get is 5 over 3 minus 3 over 3, right? That would be 2 over 3. Is that clear for everyone? Because if you look at that, 3 over 3. All right. So now we're going to take that away. We're going to bring 2 over 3 closer. All right. Now we've got 1 over x minus 2. How do we find that? Well, what we're the variable, so the number or the letter that we're looking for is on the bottom. So then we're going to have to bring it up. It's in the denominator. So we want to bring it to the numerator. Same thing we're going to do on this side. Anything you do on one side, you have to do on the other side. So this is going to become x, 1 over x minus 2 over 1 is equals to 3 over 2. And this already makes things a lot simpler. Why is that? Because this is 1, right? So we can just remove that because any number divided by 1 is just the same as that number. So now you can see that it looks a lot simpler. And then we can take this 2 on that side, change the symbol, over 1, multiply up and down by 2, so that we match this denominator. So then we have 2, and we have here 2. All right. 5 over 2 is equals to 1 over x. So we can see that at the end of it, the denominator in both sides is 2, and thus x will also be 2. Here is x, here is 2. However, do believe there's a mistake in the question, the originally. Maybe this should have been a plus, so that when we take it to the other side, it becomes a minus, and so it would actually look like 1 over 2, just to be clear. However, 5 over 2, 1 over 2 still works. And so we end up with x is equals to